Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're back with more Mustang content. I got all the stuff out of the inside of the car. Today we're installing a Watson Racing roll bar and some harnesses on the driver's side. So you have to pull all the seats out and the side panels, and I've already mocked it up in place. You can see I've marked out the holes here. You have to remove these gussets. There's a bunch of bolts. You remove them, drill the holes. You have to clearance the frame. Once these are off, I'll show you that once I get to that point. And then there's some nut plates that you have to rivet into place behind here to bolt the roll bar to. And before we get too far into this at all, a gigantic thank you to my friend Ashley, who is our S197 racetrack godfather, and he's always hooking us up with killer deals, and in this case, extremely killer deal, free 99. So huge thank you to Ashley for hooking me up with some safety items. So he also gave me the other seat, the other Corbeau seat, so now I have matching Corbeau seats. We got the Watson Racing roll bar to put in, and then my friend David gave me some harnesses that are used but in good shape. So I believe his uncle races, and they're not currently legal belts because they're out of date, but they're still good belts. So he gave me a bunch of different ones to choose from, so I'm going to be putting in harnesses on the driver's side as well. So that's today's goal. The back seat will not be going back in the car, but the side panels will be going back in, and at some point I'll make a little rear seat delete thing back here out of composites, probably, who knows, but for now it'll just be open. Not that it matters now, because before it would have been super loud in the car with no back seat because the exhaust was in the back of the car. Now it's just always super loud in the car because the exhausts are right under the floor. So it doesn't really matter if the back seat's gone anymore. Anyways, let me get these gussets out of here, get them drilled, and get all that stuff done so we can bolt this back in. It's actually a pretty simple roll bar to install. There's some holes to drill, there's some plates to put. I have to jack the back of the car up still. I have to get some plates underneath the back on this hump here. That's where the rear plates mount to. So you gotta hold some plates underneath there while you run the bolts through. And that's right above the rear end. So I gotta jack the back of the car up, let the rear end hang down so I can kind of get to that area. Not a huge deal. So yeah, let me get some more progress here, and we'll come back with another little update here in a little bit. Alright, so we're in the car. We got the rear pads loosely in. They're not tightened all the way yet, but basically what you do is you put the support bars in, just drop them in, and then you mark out the holes, drill the holes, and there's a plate on the other side that's got nuts welded to it, and you bolt that in from underneath, and you have to have a second person to hold those in place. I ended up having to trim the front of those pads off so they would fit. They were running up against the front of this structure here because it's curved down and it was running into them. The plates were too big, so I had to cut them down. Also, beware, there was a brake line right there underneath those front holes, all the way on all four of them, and I didn't know it was there, and I don't know how, but I managed not to drill through that freaking brake line. I did actually rub into it at one point, but it just looked like it just took the paint off. I don't think it actually hurt it. So anyways, that's super fun. So we got the other bolts loosely installed. I got to put all these gusset bolts back in. I got to put these bolts in up here that hold these together. And then once all those are tightened up, I can reinstall the side pieces here after I trim a little corner off of them. So I'll have those reinstalled, and I can clean everything up, get the passenger seat back in, and then I gotta start figuring out my harness hookups for this side. So anyways, all the hard work's done now. We just gotta button everything back up. So super fun. All right, got everything bolted in permanently. Bolts are in the uprights. All the gusset bolts are back in. It's got a lot of stuff to clean up. Pulling the seat belts out right now, the back ones. And yeah, once I get those out, then I'll put these side panels back in. And I'll show you guys what I got to trim off down here in these corners to get those to fit. Alright guys, so I got the passenger side all buttoned back up. Getting that plastic panel back in there through the cage was interesting, but it's not too bad. Fits in there pretty good now. Got this side cleaned up. Seats back in, obviously. So now I've just got to figure out the harness situation for the driver's side and decide what I'm going to do with this seatbelt. I'll probably just do like my friend David did, zip tie it up and leave it inside the plastic piece over here. Then in the future, you know, switching back or whatever, it'll be easy to just switch it back. So that's where we're at with that. So I'll probably bolt it back up here and just, like I said, leave it inside of the plastic, not run it outside. So anyways, we'll figure that out. But yeah, now I gotta go through the harnesses and figure out what I'm doing there. Yay. Alright guys, so this is what I came up with for the bolts. I have these eyelets here, and I drilled a hole through the seat mount and use the plates underneath. Right now the seat is all the way forward. This is not where I sit. It's farther back, so the angle to the belt will be better once it's in the proper position. And I have the strap that comes up between your legs, the 5th point, for right now wrapped around this back bar. My friend has his added an extra bar here and wrapped it to that, where it's closer to the slot. For now, this will work till I figure something else out. I'm just trying to get this stuff in the car. I'm not racing anytime soon, so we'll see how this works. I don't plan on keeping that one super tight anyways, but and I won't be using that on the street. So anyways, that's where I'm at. Gotta drill another hole, and then I gotta get the shoulder belts wrapped around the bar inside. But yeah, so far these belts right here, which are impact belts, were the nicest set and the most complete set that I had for my friend David. So again, maybe I'll get some newer ones at some point. For now, I'll be using these. So alright, so I have the harnesses all set up. It's pretty hard to see in here. Yeah, lights aren't coming on. Anyways, I got the bar straps hooked to the bar. It's pretty race car-y. Definitely won't be able to just hop in this thing really quick and run to the store. I mean, I can. It's just going to be kind of a pain. But anyways, pretty cool straps. Everything's pretty easy to cinch down. And then I got this rotating buckle right here. And then you rotate that and everything comes loose. So, and pretty nice release straps here. These are like powder coated, super nice, so nice and smooth. So that's how you loosen the straps. But yeah, let me turn the camera and get out of the car, turn the camera back around and show you guys. Alright, so got the belt set up, got the seat about where I like it. I can still adjust the seat. Got the straps on back here. I need to wrap up the excess and put a zip tie through it or something. Tie it off back there, so that looks nice. But yeah, just need to vacuum it out a little bit, clean it up a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. We'll probably take some pictures and stuff tomorrow morning when it's light outside. But it's almost dinner time. I think everything's good to go, and that was a long day. Took me, let's see, what time is it? 6 o'clock. I didn't start till about 11:30. So yeah, it took six and a half hours to do everything. The rollover bar, harnesses, put everything back together. So anyways, that's it for tonight, but we'll continue this on in the morning and show you guys in the daylight. Alright guys, so here we are next morning. See the daylight. Pretty sweet. I did go out and drive it last night, and it's all the race car. So you hear, because the seats are gone now and all the stuff's out of my trunk, you hear all the rocks these sticky tires pick up and all the suspension creaks in this cold weather and everything else. But it's pretty awesome strapping into this thing, so can't wait to try it out at the track. But I've got one more little thing I'm going to do today. Ashley, the guy who gave me the roll bar and the seat, also gave me these really nice Shelby hood pins, and actually super nice instructions, and Looks pretty simple, and yes, it's for looks, but also it's for safety. You don't want your hood coming unlatched and blowing open on the track, so hood pins will help keep that from happening. So it's a super nice kit. So hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll throw this on there, and we'll show you guys when it's done. Alright, so pretty simple. The brackets mount underneath the radiator support brackets. Basically, you run these up tall, close the hood on it, it leaves a mark. You drill through the bottom, open up to about 3/4 of an inch, and then put the plates on. These just a little 16th inch drill bit. Putting these little machine screws. Unfortunately, I had one snap off. It wasn't even tight yet. It just broke. So that really sucks. But what are you gonna do? I tried to get it out, couldn't get it out. So, anyways, these were polished. I hit them with some Scotch-Brite because there's no chrome on this car. Everything is all aluminum. So figured I would hit them with some Scotch-Brite, make them look brushed because they match these billet standoffs. Then you adjust the height on these. No big deal. Hole just above the surface of the hood when it's closed. A couple of self-tappers to hold the lanyards on. Took me a second to figure out how to get these little clips on the end of the cables on the end of the clip, or on the clip. But I figured that out, no big deal. And I just clearanced out the cover here, so I'm gonna install this. We'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all finished up. Close the hood, and yeah. Alright, so there it is, all finished up. The hole on this side's a little bit offset. I used the templates they gave, and this one's offset to this side, so anyways, I don't know. Stuff like that doesn't bother me too much. But yeah, it looks pretty sweet. And gave the engine a quick cleanup. If you don't know, I actually made this pipe out of composites to have a better radius than the original one. This is a C&L, I think. Yeah, C&L Racer intake. So it's a 95mm mass air meter. But the pipe had a real kind of a sharp bend, so this looks more like a Boss style intake tube. But anyways, yeah, let's get this hood closed. You guys can check it out. Alright, so there you have it. It's pretty sweet. Bummed about that screw breaking off, but what are you gonna do? So, even more race car-ness to the already race car. I still have to make new canards for it. I sold mine, the original ones I made to my brother, along with the spoiler. So, anyways, yesterday I was like, I want to adjust the spoiler up a little bit, so I did. And I realized that I've been driving it around with these two front pivot bolts loose this whole time. And it shook a little bit, and now it is rock solid. I loosened them up so I could adjust those, and then I forgot to tighten them the first time I adjusted it. So now they're snug, and yeah, that thing is super stiff now. So anyways, pretty pumped on the last couple of weeks worth of mods here. This car has changed so much since I bought it. Last night when I was going for a quick drive, I was just kind of laughing to myself because when I bought this car, it was modified, but it was, you know, just a few basic bolt-ons. Nothing crazy, just kind of a typical Mustang. But it's come a long way, and it's quite a different car than it was 4 years ago when I bought it. So actually 4.5 years ago. This is actually the longest I've had a car. And I think I'm so deep into this one that I just really don't have any desire to sell it. And I just really enjoy the car. So anyways, hope you guys like the mods in this video. And next one will be me trying to fit 315s in the front of this thing. That's going to be interesting. And I'll probably hopefully have canards back on this thing soon. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.